What is up? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad that you are here. It is Thursday. It is 5 p.m. East Coast time. Welcome back to the live stream, number 3. Third live stream. They're getting better each time. I appreciate you guys joining in. If this is your first time checking out our live stream, hello and welcome. If you're a returning viewer, hello, welcome back. We really appreciate you joining. Do me a big favor. If you are watching this live, drop a comment down below. Let me know where you are watching from. Dying to find out who's watching. And if you're watching this on the replay next week, next month, 5 years from now, still drop a comment down below with your questions, with your comments. I'll try to answer them live for sure. And if it's not during the live stream, I'm pretty good about getting back to those questions and answering those live. So I really appreciate you guys joining. My name is Adam Miller with the 941 Lifestyle Group. I'm a real estate agent and a lifestyle matchmaker. I love doing these live streams. It's a great opportunity for me to connect with you guys as opposed to just uploading the video and only responding back to your comments. So I really appreciate it. Every Thursday, 5 p.m. East Coast time. Here's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about some stories that are about Lakewood Ranch that might be of interest of you. If there's something real estate specific, we're going to talk about that, like the statistics. And then for today, we're going to talk about which Lakewood Ranch community is right for you. So a little backstory. We lived in this area for just a little over 10 years, just slightly over 10 years. We packed up, we moved to Maui, real estate agents there as well. And then we moved back. So this is a great one for me as well too. I got to learn along with you. When we left 5 years ago to go to Maui, I believe that there were about, don't hold me to this, I think there were about 10 communities in Lakewood Ranch. As of April 2024, there's over 40. It's grown tremendously. It's a lot to know. So I put together a big list. I'm going to put these links in the description down below. Now, last week, I talked about the top 10 neighborhoods that I was excited for about in 2024. This is a little different. I'm breaking it down to golf communities, luxury communities, gated communities, communities for retirees, amenity rich, because there's lots to do here, and then budget friendly. So here's the cool thing about Lakewood Ranch. Just my opinion, take it for what it's worth. There's probably no wrong neighborhood for you. Now, there's 2 neighborhoods, Del Webb and Crestwind, that are specifically for 55 and up. But excluding that, I guess you can be 55 and up and have a family with 3 little kids and still be able to be in that neighborhood, and you'll probably be just sufficient there. So there are no neighborhoods, in my opinion, that would be terrible for some reason or another. If you're looking for if you're retired, you can be in any neighborhood and it will be just sufficient. So these are the ones that are probably more suited for, if that makes sense. So I got a couple stories I don't want to go over. I thought you might find of interest. So let's just dive in. I'm going to share my screen. Got them all set up, ready to discuss. And yeah, super stoked. So let's do it. Share the screen. I'm going to share my entire screen. Boom, there you go. All right. This one I thought was an interesting story. So a revised housing project forges ahead at Main Street in Lakewood Ranch. So for those of you who don't know, there are 3 kind of downtown areas of Lakewood Ranch. To the north, there is the Greens, more like I want to say 2 strip malls, but a bunch of restaurants, some cool stores, Fresh Market just opened there. There's a big gym, 24-hour fitness or LA Fitness, one of those ones in there. There is Waterside in Lakewood Ranch. To the south, and then smack dab in the middle is Main Street, Lakewood Ranch. They have a ton of events there. There's restaurants, there's a couple bars, there's shopping there. Cool place. There's a Starbucks too. But for the longest time, it's interesting too. It says this too. When the green fencing went up along Rodeo Drive from the Fish Hole to another real estate company early in 23, it seemed to be a sign that the long-awaited condo project was ready to break ground. But then plans hit a snag. This is interesting too. And you talk about, I don't know the details of this until I read the article, but I still don't know like the details. But man, you want to talk about red tape, and you'll see why in a second. So the snag that had finally unraveled is that the condos became townhomes. Really? So now the project's ready to go again. That to me sounds like a lot of red tape. It's currently under review by the Manatee County. No official start date. But here's what I thought was interesting, though. So it's going to be 36 townhomes with the pool. Living area is going to be about 1,800 per square feet. So now it's going to be 2 townhomes that's going to overlook the pool. Sorry. So this is what I thought was interesting. This plan was started in 2006. You got to be kidding me. 2006. The good thing is that it was on the market for $2.6 million at the time. Lakeshore was actually selling before the first shovel even hit the ground, and contracts were signed to start construction. The fence was put up, the land was cleared, underground pipes were delivered to the site, and then it hit a snag. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Oh, it's terrible. So here's what happened. The surveyors arrived. They found out the proposed buildings were encroaching into common areas. Not sure how that happens because usually you have to get a survey. The parcel is not as rectangular as originally thought. No. The lot lines run more jagged than straight, as do they most of the time. Anyway, it's almost ready to go. But now there's not going to be a building with 2 large condominiums. The project is going to now be 4 smaller buildings with more units. Crazy. Townhomes will be 3 stories with a rooftop deck. There's going to be a garage, an elevator, a foyer. It just seems really interesting. So the reason I wanted to bring this up, so condos were selling from $960 to over $2 million. The waterfront units now are going to start selling for $900, which I'm surprised they're down. But there are people who put in offers way back when who are still interested. So anyway, my point of bringing this up, if you are somebody who wants to live like right in the hustle and bustle things, you're right on Main Street, walkable to everything, that might be a neighborhood to consider. Contact information is down below. All right, next up, 10 Florida cities where home sales are booming. Now, I'm not going to go through this entire list with you, but not surprisingly, some neighborhood that we know made it to the list. So Pasadena Hills, just 21 miles away, hot market. Alafaya, that is in Central Florida, out near Orlando. My folks used to live out there. Another one outside of Tampa, Carrollwood, hot area to be. Town and Country, outside of Tampa. Bartow, Florida, which is in Polk County, also are in and around Tampa. I can't believe these are all in and around Tampa. Pinellas Park, Pinellas County, also in Tampa. Deltona, near Orlando. Not surprising, these are all hot areas. Zephyr Hills, also near Tampa, Pasco County. Apopka, Central Florida, Orlando. And then number 10 on the list, Lakewood Ranch. It's a planned community near Tampa. It's about an hour south of Tampa. It's a popular place to move to, attracting many home buyers from Chicago. It's the first I've heard of that, followed by buyers from New York and Washington. That I thought was interesting as well, too. It says the median sale price of homes in Lakewood Ranch was $620 last month. I don't believe that is correct. About the same time as last year. I pulled it up real quick. Is that on there? Yeah, the median sale price in Sarasota was $507. That number was up 2.5% over the same time last year. And in Manatee County, the median sale price is $499.9, and that was up 2% over the same time last year. But go figure, Lakewood Ranch. It's a good area to be. It's why we came back from Maui. All right, moving along. We are not going to be here, and I am so bummed because the Lakewood Ranch Business Alliance, which is kind of sort of similar to a Chamber of Commerce, is putting on this event, block party. I went to my first Lakewood Ranch Business Alliance networking event last night. It was so great to be back in the swing of things. Got to see a lot of people I've not seen since we left. It's a great opportunity to network. It's not as chambery, if that's the right word, as a Chamber of Commerce, but this is a phenomenal event. It takes place on Lakewood Ranch, Main Street. It is Friday, April the 12th, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. It is free. There are hundreds of vendors, every kind of business, but it's a great way to support local businesses. I'm bummed we are not going to be here. This free event features live music, beer trucks, activities, chance to meet local businesses, builders, groups, and clubs that call Lakewood Ranch home. It's going to be a great time for the entire family. Wow. If you are in and around this area, you absolutely, positively should go to this event. It's great. This showed up the other day. Kind of bummed about this one, and this is one of those things that we knew when we were coming back to Florida. We're like, This is an issue sometimes in Florida, which is blue-green algae, not just in this area, all over the state of Florida. But it was found at Lake Uline in Lakewood Ranch, which is close to Main Street, which kind of sucks. And by the way, I will put the links to all these links to all these articles in the description down below. You can check it out at another time. But here's the deal with blue-green algae. It can occur in Florida's fresh or brackish water, many of which have the potential to produce toxins. That kind of sucks. The symptoms for some people who get exposed are rashes, stomach cramps, nausea, diarrhea, vomiting. If you're super sensitive, just the smell can have respiratory irritation. Sometimes high exposure to toxins can affect the liver and the nervous system. There's a phone number to call if you think about it. Water from areas with blue-green algae can make people and animals sick. Stay away from these areas. Don't cook or clean dishes with water. Obviously, you shouldn't do that one. You should not swim in them. Most of the time, you don't want to swim in there anyway, because one of those two waters will either have alligators and or sharks. This, take it for what it's worth, blue-green algae and fish. Fish tested from waters with blue-green algae show that the cyanotoxins do not significantly accumulate in the edible parts. I don't know what that means, significantly accumulate. The muscle or the fillet of fish, but can in other organs. Prior to consuming, rinse fish fillets with tap or bottled water, throw out the guts, and cook the fish well. Do not eat shellfish in waters with blue-green algae. Now, for the most part, you probably don't want to be eating fish from freshwater. Just my opinion. I'm sure you can eat bass and tilapia and catfish from those waters. But brackish waters, I mean, we go kayak fishing in brackish waters. Salt water, could be fresh water. But yeah, that kind of sucks. Anyway, so I want to move over and talk about which community is right for you. So now, this was an overwhelming project to put together. That's why I did break it down to, like I said, golf, luxury, gated, retirees, inexpensive ones. And the final one was, oh yeah, Amenity Rich, lots of amenities. So here's what I want to do. I know how long it took me last week to go over the 10 neighborhoods that excited me in 2024. So I'm going to do this one. I will put links in the description to all of these communities so you can drill down. But I just want to give you the names of some of the communities, so at least you have a list, and then some of the features that I think might be important. So we're going to dive in. We're going to talk about the golf communities in Lakewood Ranch. That might be intriguing. First one is Lakewood Ranch Golf and Country Club. 4 championship courses, state-of-the-art golf academy, 2 award-winning clubhouses, 2 golf practice facilities, a full social calendar, 20-court tennis center, 20 pickleball courts, 24-hour fitness center, 70 weekly fitness classes, 2 heated pools. There's also bocce ball, tournament croquet courts, and kids camps. That was the first one. Next one up on the list is Esplanade Golf and Country Club. Beautiful community. 18-hole golf course. It's recognized as one of the area's best golf courses. And the driving range has both a grass tee top hitting area and a synthetic grass hitting area. Hey, drop a comment down below. Have you gone golfing anywhere in Lakewood Ranch? Esplanade also has a pro shop. Next up, to me, is probably the best community to be in, maybe, for golf, and that's Lakewood National. Lakewood National is all about luxury and golfing and amenities. There's a 36-hole championship golf course designed by the one and only Arnold Palmer. Heard of him before, right? Next up, Country Club East. There is a restaurant and a bar and a fitness center and a spa, but it's also an 18-hole Royal Lakes golf course designed by Rick Robbins. I'm not a golfer. I don't know who that is. Next up is Esplanade at Azario. The golf course was designed by the master golf course architect, Chris Wilczynski. Did I say that right? Chris Wilczynski. So if you're thinking about golfing in Lakewood Ranch, those are the 5 communities that have golf courses on them. Some of them are public. Some of them are private. Most of them are private. I think I read an article that the Lakewood Ranch Golf and Country Club is not going to be open to the public anymore. It is only going to be private. So most likely you need to have a membership there. But call me, we could talk about that one. Talk about my favorite now, which is luxury real estate and neighborhoods in Lakewood Ranch. There's a handful of them, and they're all pretty awesome, actually. in no particular order, is Wild Blue. Cool thing is that, first of all, we have 2 YouTube channels. Probably didn't tell you that. Let me drop the links real quick here so you can kind of see them. You have the one that you are currently watching this on, which is 941 Lifestyle Group. But then we have another one, which is just home tours, 941 Premier Home Tours. I have a lot of tours of model homes in a lot of these communities. I just shot, I think, 5 or 6 in the models at Wild Blue, because first of all, they just finally opened up models. But some of the best luxury builders in Lakewood Ranch in the area, you have Anchor Builders, AR Homes, which is Arthur Ruttenberg, Lee Wetherington Homes, John Cannon Homes, and Stock Luxury Homes. Home prices are going to range from $1 million to a little over $3 million. Now, these ones that I'm giving you prices on are new construction homes. Just so you know, if you're interested, those homes do not include the lot. Let me say that again. Those homes do not include the lot. So when it says single family homes from 1 million to over 3 million, does not include the lot. All right, next up, one of my favorite communities also is Kingfisher Estates. That is located in Waterside in Lakewood Ranch, which is south in Lakewood Ranch in Sarasota County. Here's why I love it. Here's why it's rare, exclusive, and luxurious. There's only 13 lots. Now, I can tell you there's only 2 neighborhoods with a small amount of lots. The rest have hundreds. Some have 1,000 plus homes in it. This is 13 lots situated right on Kingfisher Lake, overlooks downtown Waterside. The lots are starting at $1 million. The lots are starting at $1 million. And this is not even a gated community. Single family homes are starting at $3 million. They're going to range anywhere from 3,600 square feet to over 8,000 square feet. Cannot wait to see the first 8,000 square foot home that gets built there. The homes are starting at $3 million, and they are built by one of my favorite builders, certainly in this area, is John Cannon Homes. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, take a look at some of the videos that I shot at some of his homes. They are just stunningly gorgeous. Okay. Are you staying with me? Excellent. Next up is Monarch Acres, which to me is probably the most exclusive of all of the communities. It's brand new. There's currently one house in the neighborhood. There's only 8 lots available. One is sold out. It's got a monster house on it. Check out the video. Did my best to kind of show the house without being too intrusive to showing the house. Gorgeous community. I think the lots are 3/4 of an acre to an acre. It is gated, also built by John Cannon Homes. And they're going to also range from 3,600 to 8,000 square feet. If I had to guess, the house that is currently sitting on there is probably close to, I don't know, I'm guessing 5,000-6,000 square feet. It might be more than that. It's a monster house. It is gorgeous. I love that community. Next up is the Isles, built by Toll Brothers. Single family homes are going to range from the $800,000 range to well over $1 million. It is gated. There's a clubhouse, there's tennis courts, there's a dog park, there's fitness center, there's a resort style swimming pool, pickleball. They have this really cool meditation lawn. They have walking trails. They have a boardwalk. Just stunning. Next up, Azario Esplanade, very luxurious, built by Taylor Morrison. Love Taylor Morrison again, great builder. 600,000 to a little over $1 million. Not as expensive as the other ones, but still expensive. That's why it's in the luxury category. It is gated. They have a championship golf course, like we mentioned earlier, a pro golf shop. There's a culinary center with a restaurant. Man, that's awesome. A resort style swimming pool. There's a spa with a fitness center, a salon, and a little cafe. Done a couple of videos there too. Super cute. All right, next up, Lakewood Ranch Golf and Country Club. Talked about that earlier, but get a load of this. You can find homes, single family homes in the $500,000 range. So yes, luxurious. And the reason I added it is because you can also find homes over $4 million. The ones in the 500s, few and far between for this area. That's not considered luxury. Yes, it's expensive to some folks, but the $4 million ones, certainly luxurious. All right. And next up, the epicenter, the pinnacle of luxury in Lakewood Ranch, even though some of those other neighborhoods will have stunningly gorgeous homes, but that is the Lake Club. Stock luxury homes, single family homes range from 1 million. My notes say to over $4 million, but I'm going to gather there's got to be some homes in there that got a top $4 million. It's got a spectacular 20,000 square foot grand clubhouse, tennis, fitness center, and gated. It is stunningly gorgeous. Really is one of my favorite neighborhoods. All right, let's move along. Glad you guys are staying with me. Again, drop your comments down below. If you have any questions, put them in there. If you're watching the replay, I'll get back to you. All right, let's move on. We're going to talk about some of the gated communities. Now, there's lots of gated communities. Interesting enough. So Lakewood Ranch, for those who don't know, split in between two counties, Manatee County to the north, Sarasota County to the south. The southern part is all Waterside. There's only one gated community, as far as I know, in Lakewood Ranch in Waterside. And literally, it's the only community that is not really in Lakewood Ranch per se. It's Monterey. I think we've talked about that in another video. It's like 3.5 miles east of Lorraine Road. If you don't know the area, it's Fruitville South, east 3.5 miles. It's gated. Don't understand it. So gated communities that you should definitely be aware of. Like I said, there's lots of them. There's probably 20. The Lake Club, again, Lakewood Ranch Golf and Country Club, Lorraine Lakes, which is by Lennar Homes. And you can find townhomes in the $300,000 range. You can find attached villas also in the $300,000 range, and single family homes, $500,000 to $800,000. There's a couple other options in there, but that's kind of the gist of it. And then Lakewood National is also gated. Azario Esplanade, another gated community. Let's talk about retirees. Now, I think any community in Lakewood Ranch is probably great for retirees. It all depends on what you want. You can be in Summerfield, inexpensive, the original neighborhood, and be totally happy as a retiree. I know retirees who live in there. There's no amenities. There's a park. Park is beautiful. Just shot a video there last week. It's called Hiking in Lakewood Ranch. Check that out. You'd be surprised how stunningly gorgeous that is. So this one, the retiree categories are specifically not meant for, but take it for what's worth. Neighborhoods that retirees would do well in, basically because of the amenities. So now there are two that I discussed earlier, which was Crestwind and Del Webb. Those are on there, obviously, because those are specifically for active adults 55 years and older. So those are really the only two age restricted. Now, you don't have to be 55 years and older. Somebody in the household has to be 55 years and older. Great community, tons of activities there, tons of amenity, pickleball, tennis, resort style pool, lifestyle director, everything you would possibly need. And the prices are semi-reasonable. I think you can find them in the $500,000-$600,000 range to over $1 million, 1.3, 1.4 million in both of those neighborhoods. Azario Esplanade. Esplanade does a fantastic job. We've talked about some of the features in there, but that's another great one. Lakewood Ranch Golf and Country Club. It's kind of old school, right? It's built back in the 90s, I think early 2000s. So some of them are old school, some of them updated, but also great. I also added two of the ones I discussed already, and here's why I added them on there. Monarch Acres and Kingfisher Estates. So Monarch Acres I put on there. If you are somebody who doesn't really care about the amenities, or at least not having the amenities in your neighborhood, you still have access to them because there's lots of places that you can go, maybe golf or join a club where you can do pickleball. I put Monarch Acres. And I think that's going to be great for people who have most likely second homes. Because like I said, there's 8 homes in that neighborhood, very expensive. So if you want that luxury lifestyle or luxury house in a gated community that's nice and quiet and you're retired, Monarch Acres might be for you. And the same with Kingfisher Estates. I put those on there because they're most likely going to be fairly quiet. Monarch Acres has 8 home sites. Kingfisher has 13. There's no amenities. So if you are retiring and still want to live that luxury life in a beautiful house, that might be the neighborhood for you. All right, let's talk about Amenity Rich, because to be honest, Lakewood Ranch is all about the amenities. Now, not necessarily the amenities in your community. Like I said, you can be in some of the older neighborhoods, Riverwalk, Greenbrook, Summerfield. No amenities per se. No swimming pool or lifestyle director or pickleball courts. But these were the ones that seem to have the most amenities. Okay, so this one is going to take up the most time because I wanted to tell you the communities, but then I also wanted to rattle off a lot of the amenities that come along with these communities. All right, first up is Crestwind. Always have a difficult time. Cresswind. Crestwind, not Crestwind, Crestwind. All right, so there is a multi-purpose event room. There's social spaces. There's a fitness center. There's a yoga studio. There's an arts and crafts room. There is an event plaza for concerts. There is tennis. There is pickleball. There is a luxury resort-style swimming pool. There's a resistance pool. There's a hot tub. There's a fitness center. There's a lifestyle director. There's a clubhouse. By the way, maintenance is included. It is gated. There's yoga and a dance studio. How about that? And a dance studio. But I do like to have the yoga studio in there. Azario Esplanade, we talked about that earlier. It's gated. It has a championship golf course, a pro golf shop. It's got a culinary center with a restaurant, resort-style swimming pool with a spa and a fitness center, a salon, and a cafe. Star Farms, which I've not mentioned yet. It's got a resort. I like Star Farms. It's got a resort campus. It's got a clubhouse. It's got a pool. It's got walking trails. It's got a pet park. It's got a sports court. It's got a wellness complex, pickleball, tennis, an adventure park for the kids, bocce ball, cornhole. These are not all the amenities in there, but just a lot of the amenities. So if you're somebody who wants to be in a community that has access to all these amenities, these are probably the ones that you want to consider. And like I said, in the description down below to this video, I'm going to have some of those in there. So you should definitely go and check that out after the fact. All right, next up is Windward. Windward is in Waterside in Lakewood Ranch. It is currently, and I think will always be, maybe, the southernmost community in Lakewood Ranch. So the great thing about that one, if I can digress a little bit, is that it is the closest to downtown Sarasota. Downtown Sarasota is cool and it's hip, and there's stunningly gorgeous condos. You can buy a condo for $15 million, but then you're close to the beaches. So you're probably, without traffic, I don't know, 20 minutes away from downtown Sarasota. And then you're so close. You're close to Waterside. You're probably 5-10 minutes from Waterside. Built by Neil Holmes. There's a resort-style swimming pool. There's pickleball. There's tennis courts. There's walking trails for your furry friends. There's a dog park. There's a residents-only clubhouse, including a state-of-the-art fitness center, on-site activities director. Kids are going to enjoy a swimming pool, the playground, and the sports field. All right, next up is Wild Blue. We talked about that earlier, but I wanted to tell you about some of the amenities here because, man, so Wild Blue checks off a lot of the boxes. It is not gated, but it is definitely luxurious, and it is definitely amenity filled. Probably great for retirees as well, too. Okay, so there are miles of lakeside and preserved walking paths and trails, 6 tennis courts. There's a shaded pavilion. There's 8 pickleball courts. There's a children's playground. There's a sports court with a pro shop. There's a wetland overlook with a boardwalk. There's outdoor fitness equipment, which I thought was really cool. For your furry friends, there's not just one dog park. There's actually 2 dog parks. There's an event lawn, which I'm sure they will have different events and concerts out there. There's a basketball court. There's a dock with a kayak launch because you are right on the water. Big giant lake. There's a picnic area with grilling stations. There is a 25,000 square foot indoor and outdoor space. There's an indoor theater. There's a fitness studio. There's a workout classrooms. There's a golf simulator. There's locker rooms. So I can tell you, like I said, the models just opened up there. The amenity center is not open yet. Not open yet. There's indoor and outdoor dining. There's a pool complex with a resort-style swimming pool and a lap pool, expansive yoga lawn, and a putting green. And of course, there is a lifestyle director on site. Drop a comment down below. Any of these exciting you at the moment? Let me stop my share too. Sorry, I meant to get that off my screen so you didn't have to stare about that the whole time. Can't believe I left that on the screen. Embarrassed. Okay, we talked about Del Webb, great for retirees. I definitely wanted to tell you some of the amenities there. I have friends there. I spent a lot of time there. I've been to some of the events there. It really is awesome. I am not retired just yet. I can get in that community because of the age, but I'm not there yet. Okay, so Del Webb has 6 tennis courts, 4 bocce ball courts, 8 pickleball courts. It's got a heated resort-style swimming pool and a spa, a state-of-the-art fitness center, a movement studio, a clubhouse. There's craft rooms. There's a catering kitchen. There's a Wi-Fi cafe. Of course, there's a lifestyle director. There's an outdoor barefoot bar, which I went to. We had karaoke night there. We didn't have karaoke night. They had karaoke night. It was awesome. There's a fire pit. There's walking trails. There's an event lawn. There's barbecue grills. There's a community dog park. There's a satellite pool, which is coming soon. There's a 21,000 square foot clubhouse. There is a biking trails. There's book discussions. There's bowling. There's dancing. There's game nights. There's trivia nights. So much fun stuff to do there. And then finally, for all you budget conscious people, now I guess depend on where you are watching from. Maybe these are not budget. There are other communities that offer communities that are in this price range, but I found that these to be the most budget friendly. Now, these are single family homes. There's definitely lots of communities that have either townhomes or villas that you can find in the $200,000 range. Some starting at. But for budget friendly single family home neighborhoods, the OG, the original 1995 Summerfield, you can find homes in the $300,000 to $400,000 range. The cool thing about those homes is some of them might need some updating, but you can buy a $300,000 house that's, over 2,000 square feet, put in, $100,000, maybe less than that, and have yourself a new-ish looking home. So Summerfield, there's Greenbrook, which really for the longest time was one of my favorite neighborhoods. It's an area that we used to farm. We sold a lot of properties there. Sold a lot of properties in Summerfield too. But in Greenbrook, you can find single family homes in the $400,000 range. We have friends who live there. And it was interesting to see over time what that original house looked like. I think they were built in the 90s, some of them in the 2000s. But over time, they have just been gutted and updated. And the cool thing about Summerfield and Greenbrook is because they were some of the original neighborhoods, is that the trees have grown in. The live oaks are grown in, and it just looks mature and just gorgeous. All right, the next three are all new communities. Solara, you can buy single family homes in the $400,000 to $500,000 range. Star Farms, again, you can find properties starting in the $400,000 range. Now, I don't know if that's inexpensive to you, but for this area, that's pretty inexpensive, especially for a new home. And then you have Avalon Woods, which I have not mentioned, but you can find single family homes in the $400,000 range. So, hey, do me a favor. I know this seems like an overwhelming amount of information. It is. It is for me as well. It was fun to do the kind of the research on it and have all this information. The links are going to be in the description down below. I wanted to make sure too that I gave you my contact information. It's going to be in the description down below, but you can find me on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, Adam Miller in Florida. In terms of the videos on our YouTube channel, like I said, we have 2 YouTube channels. The 941 Lifestyle Group is mostly education on Lakewood Ranch, things to do. Some of it's real estate related, buying, selling information. And then at 941 Premier Home Tours is just home tours. And that's not going to be just Lakewood Ranch. So obviously the 941 Lifestyle Group channel is all about Lakewood Ranch. 941 Premier Home Tours are going to be new construction tours. It's going to be our listing video tours. Could even be listings from other real estate agents because they know we are just phenomenal at marketing homes and doing property tours. Do me a big favor too. Subscribe to the channel. I told myself I'm not going to ask people to subscribe, but if you're watching the live stream, which you are, I would appreciate you doing that one. We do this every Thursday, 5 p.m. East Coast time. I really appreciate you guys watching. There's lots of great information in the description down below. Of course, if you have any questions at all, my phone number is 941-233-9722. Thank you guys for watching. Have a fantastic evening. See you soon.